As a seller, there's nothing better than getting an offer in on your property. But unless you're in a bidding war in Toronto, the chances are that offer is going to be accompanied by conditions. I'm Andrew Tamborello, and today we're going to talk about how the conditions in your agreement of purchase and sale can be suicide for the deal. Now, there's nothing wrong with a buyer putting conditions in the agreement. The problem with those conditions is the wording and how they could leave you as a seller vulnerable. The most common conditions you're going to see are going to be based upon home inspection and financing, and they allow the buyer the sole and absolute discretion as to whether or not they will be waived. Perfect for the buyer, horrible for the seller, because you're giving them blind faith and assuming that they're going to fulfill these conditions. The problem with that is once your property is sold conditionally, it's typically off of the market for a week. During that week, other agents aren't going to be showing the property, and unless that deal firms up, it's likely going to take you another week to get the viewing activity back. And on top of that, every agent is going to naturally assume that it was because of the home inspection that that deal fell through, and it will put downward pressure on the pricing. One of the ways to mitigate or avoid having the buyer get all of that leverage on you is to change the wording and not allow them to have the sole and absolute discretion to waive the conditions. Now, you could either scratch that out and initial it in the original agreement of purchase and sale, or you could add a Schedule B, which allows you as the seller to be able to verify and review not only the home inspection, but the fact that they weren't able to obtain the financing. A lot of buyer agents will be very apprehensive at this, but I would caution you against allowing them to use the sole and absolute discretion clause because it leaves you much more vulnerable than them. Thanks so much for listening, and if you have any questions, you can contact me at www.andrewtamborello.com.